The Haunted Mansion in Disneyland suffered a major issue this past week with guests having to be evacuated. The lights were turned on, the ride was turned off, and we all got a very interesting look of what the Haunted Mansion looks like when the lights come on. And we're going to talk about today on That Park Plays. Vash, this is an interesting one.
Very interesting indeed. I was most surprised by this when I actually saw the video. I was like, okay, is this manipulated at all? Is this actually a cast member coming on over the speaker telling them that essentially that they can't be assisted by cast members?
You're on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Free for all. No, I was shocked at what I was actually seeing, and so I double checked, verified, did all of that. And yeah, it is authentic according to multiple outlets, multiple websites and the like.
Okay, by the way, New York Post, I hate to gripe about what you do because I am generally a fan, but could you not give me the Hassan Piker with his shirt off ad right here? Like, I guess it's another article that they have that they're linking to. Like, can we not do that? That was the thing I didn't need to see today.
Well, the New York Post does this a lot, by the way, which people might be wondering, like, why turn New York Post into dark mode and everything like that. It's like, there's just going to be some stuff that pops up there that maybe isn't appropriate for a theme park channel.
It says it's known as the happiest place on earth, but for a group of Disneyland guests, a breakdown on the Haunted Mansion turned into a behind-the-scenes look after a ride malfunction forced the lights on and left passengers to navigate their exit alone. The unusual incident, which took place close to the park's 11 p.m. closing time on May 27th, was detailed in a viral Reddit post that left Disney fans surprised by the breakdown in standard operating culture. The doom buggies ground to a halt inside the ride, smack dab in the middle of the cemetery. Initially, cast members gave standard instructions over the loudspeaker advising stranded riders to remain seated and wait to be escorted off the ride. You see some images there. You see what it looks like with the lights on.
Right.
Everybody's out and like looking around, and it's so weird to see people just out of their doom buggies in the middle of the graveyard. After about 10 minutes, the message changed, stating the cast members could no longer assist us and to go ahead and squeeze out of our buggies and find the nearest exit, the frazzled writer wrote online, describing the experience as absolutely wild.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, usually cast members are there to assist you, right? And in order to disengage any ride restraints that actually might be on your person at that time, and then escort you, with personnel promptly. This didn't happen. As Marvin beautifully pointed out there, they told everybody apparently to squeeze out, and then they gave instructions on how to disengage ride restraints for other riders out there, and then proceed to the nearest exit or something like that. And it's like, there is so much wrong here. It's absolutely insane. Apparently, former cast members on Reddit were actually suggesting that, hey, look, listen, I've only read about non-attended or unattended evacs. I've never even heard about it actually happening, or certainly haven't seen it happening. And in this case, apparently, according to whatever was actually going on with the ride itself and the emergency, it couldn't provide for cast members to be there to do it personally.
Yeah. So we do have the video here, which I had to get out of the article because New York Post was slowing my computer down exponentially. Plus, shirtless Hassan Piker, which we didn't need to see again. All right, so let's have a look here at what this was. So this is the full video here, 30 seconds long. Hold on.
Inside the Haunted Mansion, we can no longer. Once again, for all of my guests inside the Haunted Mansion, we can no longer assist you at this time. We ask that you hop out of your buggy and find the nearest exit.
Look at the ghost! Look at the ghost popping up out from behind the grave. The magic is gone, Vash.
It absolutely is gone, and you can actually see the the intricacies of the machinery and so forth back there. Now, that actually provides for the effect itself. I mean, you've got the large room, tall scrim right there. I mean, this is just not a great look to see.
We can usually no longer assist you at this time. Why? Right? Like, hold on. Let's just let the video play.
Assist you at this time. We ask that you hop out of your buggy and find the nearest exit. If you can, there is a latch
Oh my
the
goodness.
left-hand side that you can press down to open the clamshell.
To open your clamshell?
Yeah.
Did he just say to
Yeah.
open? It's a Doom. You're not at Ariel. You're not at the Voyage of the Little Mermaid, dude.
I suppose it is clamshell.
Keep your hands, legs, and feet inside your clamshell.
Inside your doom buggy. No.
Yeah.
Well, and to have guests actually activate those restraints, point them out, like where they are on the vehicle itself, right there.
Now everyone knows.
Exactly. That's something you don't necessarily want, right? So there are
Get that $30,000 bounty on Madame Leota's head.
Oh, there you go. That's something as well, and that's the other thing too. Like, you know, there are some areas of this ride track, you know, we might be not seeing it in the graveyard, but there are some other areas that are kind of precarious for guests to actually walk through, which is why you have somebody usually leading them through very, very carefully.
Yep. And making sure that they're not doing things like this, like taking video of the mechanisms that are making the attraction work. If this guy's standing on the grass, that would never be allowed during an evac.
Precisely. Yes, absolutely. I mean, there are... Oh, go ahead, please.
I have not been evac'd off many rides. The Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover is probably the one that I remember the most being evac'd off of.
Right.
And they were like, you had to walk like a single file line on the track, and they were watching to make sure you weren't taking video or photos.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually... usually you have somebody with you in order to prevent measures like that. I remember, you know, look, listen, I may have been evac on a couple of attractions, and maybe, you know, I got the inkling to pull my phone out, and maybe I was told by a cast member that you shouldn't actually be doing that right there, which I completely understand. But you know, it's all to prevent things like this. It's all to prevent injuries. It's all to prevent, well, damage to the set pieces and so forth. There are a number of things that cast members usually instruct guests to do in a situation like this. The fact that they weren't there must present to me, Marvin, there's got to be a reason for this, and I can't quite figure it out just yet.
Yep.
The left-hand side that you can press down to open the clamshell.
Wow. Look at everybody just walking around the gravestones, touching them.
Okay. There's a left.
They're trying to find the latch. Yeah, and they found it. Okay.
It's just not what you want to see. I don't
Insane.
really know what the nature of the evacuation actually is. Some people are saying maybe a fire. In the case of fire, maybe that's why they couldn't actually attend this. But some people have also suggested, well, why aren't there alarms? Why aren't there, you know, certain, you know, lights flashing or something
They
to
think
indicate
there was a fire?
Well, I suppose when reading about this, one of the instances in which you might have an unattended evacuation is in the case of fire. So I'm not saying that there actually was one. I'm just saying that in the policies and procedures as instructed by cast members for manned evacuations or unmanned evacuations, that might be a reason as to why there wasn't anybody in leading this whole charge here.
Interesting. Very interesting.
People,
but now, like, so these people are in the graveyard. So for them, this is a pretty easy evacuation. Like, this is just straight out through the hitchhiking ghosts, and then you're home free. What about the people that were like in the attic?
Yeah, I mean, in the attic, that's not a great place to be. I mean, so, you know, there is a maintenance bay near there, but honestly, I think the only way to actually get out, okay, in the corridor doors, I understand there is an exit there that you can actually take, but you know,
but isn't that like something that's like a door? Wouldn't that typically be something a cast member would have to show you or open for you? Like,
right, exactly. So you'd have to know which door you actually take. I believe it has maybe an emergency exit sign above it. I'm not sure though. But
they're lucky no one got hurt.
Right. Even if you know where these things are, how do you actually navigate your way out of this place? You know, where do you go from there? I'm very fortunate that nobody got hurt.
With how like guarded Disney is, and how like on top of things they typically, well, I mean, I guess they used to be on top of things with this, maybe not so much anymore, but like with how guarded they are about like their secrets and this kind of stuff. Exactly. The fact that they would all of a sudden be just like, you're on your own, sink or swim, chumps. Like, I can't believe that they did that.
I really can't believe it either. I mean, that's what makes this so profound, because and that's why I had to locate the authenticity before actually reporting on this myself, because it was just like this is so uncharacteristic of Disney for the reasons that you aptly speak about. The risk for injury and so forth, the risk of liability, all of these things usually prevent something like this ever occurring. And look, maybe you could do something like this on perhaps Rise of Resistance, but obviously with the Haunted Mansion, it is very uneven. A lot of this was made in the 1960s, right? And so there are certain dangers and precarious moments in place that could really be a cause of concern. So something had to mandate this that was great enough to overcome all of those things. I just don't know what that actual emergency was.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't said anything about this, right? Like Disney has not made a
No. There have been a couple of reporters actually ask Disney, hey, what was this all about? And apparently Disney has not responded to requests for comment.
So do you think they ever will, or do you think they're preparing a statement, or is this going to be like the ferry boat accident where they just pretend it never happened and never talk about it?
I think it's. I think for Disney, it's like, okay, well, is this necessarily going to happen again? Likely not. So why say anything about it at all? Just let the internet or the collective fandom or whatever get obsessed about something else. We not say anything, and then nothing's out there on the record. And the likelihood of this happening again is I think it's a calculation by Disney. It's unlikely, so why say anything about it now?
Yeah, I mean, we've never heard anything about this happening before. So, look, irate specialist here is saying, I've known cast that got fired for guests exiting on the wrong side of a vehicle during an evac. Some higher up must be losing it over this. If they still care, I don't think they do. We have been talking about the fact that Disney is basically being controlled by Wall Street interests at this point.
Sure.
So, they don't care about things like guest experiences as much as they just care about the bottom line. They're lucky people weren't I'm shocked that people weren't trying to pull leaves off of plants, because you know how Disney adults are. They're pretty crazy about pieces of the park.
Absolutely.
We've heard of them pulling ripping pieces off of characters before.
Right.
To bring some of the park home with them.
Well, we've heard about whole lot of animatronics stolen in some cases. Now, obviously, that might have been an inside job, but still, I mean, you just never know what people.
There was a rumor that I had heard years ago that there was a $30,000 bounty on Madame Leota, and I was like, I don't think it's. First of all, that would be ridiculous. But secondly, if you got out of your doom buggy and you managed to hop the gap between the track and her table, and you got the ball and somehow managed to disconnect it from all the apparatuses before cast members swarmed you, how would you then get out of the park with it?
That'd be very difficult, for sure. Now, I have heard that would
be the dumbest way to go to jail ever. Could you imagine having to tell your having to tell your cellmate, well, what are you in for? Well, I killed a man. What are you in for? I stole a head in a crystal ball from Disney World.
At a Disney park.
Yeah,
yeah, it's you wouldn't be getting any bedfellows there, but it's very interesting, Marvin, because there have been two instances involving that kind of ordeal. One is Pirates of the Caribbean, for example, at Disneyland. Somebody actually hopped off of their boat there, actually got onto one of the sets, this being the jail scene, right? Ripped the keys out of the dog's mouth and actually ran up an emergency exit and actually knew where to go and just disappeared into the crowd. Disney was never able to find them again.
So they got away with the keys.
I got away with the keys. Yes.
So somewhere somebody has those keys.
Somewhere somebody has those keys. That's right. And unfortunately left some damage behind for the animatronic dog itself, which was a little bit unfortunate to see. The other instance is the Haunted Mansion.
I actually keep the keys over there.
Oh, I see. Okay, now we've solved the mystery. Yeah. So the Haunted Mansion, when it initially opened, somebody was actually very rambunctious enough to hop from their, I guess, clamshell in this case, right? And then hop over and try to get to Madame Leota and her table. Now, the problem is back in the day, it has a grate over it now, but previously it was just a gap there. There was nothing down there. And so when that person actually went to do that, well, they were in for a rude awakening. I think
I
broke
have heard
their
about
leg
that.
as well.
Yeah, I heard.
Right,
And
right.
weren't they down there for a while? Like nobody even knew.
Yes. From what I understand, they were down there for a little while now. Now, obviously, there's a grate there, and I believe it's a storage area for some of the holiday Haunted Mansion holiday decor, if I'm not mistaken. But back in the day, yeah, it was not good. So in your case,
Ken
Marvin,
Reinhardt pointed out that one guy jumped off the safari to do a live stream.
that's very true.
The man who attempted to urinate, who will not attempted, he succeeded in urinating on the on the safari. Guys, here, keep your hands, arms, feet, and leg inside the vehicle at all times, for the love of God. Like, you don't ever need to get, don't ever get out of a ride while it's moving. Don't ever do it. It's not worth it, man. Like, the momentary glory you might feel because you're like, walking next to some of the animatronics, like, it's not like you're gonna get you're gonna get trespassed. You might get arrested. It's not worth it, man.
Not worth it, and it's extremely dangerous as well. Again, these are, vehicles that sometimes don't have pressure sensors, and sometimes will continue moving no matter what might be in their way. That being, a loose object or perhaps a body part, limb, no good.
Now, also, what about folks that, like, let's say you get stopped in the Doom buggy, you're in the attic, and you are somebody who needs a mobile device, a mobile mobility device, a wheelchair, a scooter, whatnot. You're toast.
Yeah, that's the worry about something like this, right? So
And obviously there are ways to get those people out of there, like built into this, because but you would need the cast members to guide you to it.
right, yeah, usually you have cast members who know, intimately, okay, how many guests with disabilities are actually on board at that point, and maybe you have cast members actually be, like accompany them who are actually in the process of actually doing an evacuation with a wheelchair. That way you can actually get those guests out, get them on board, a method by which they can actually remove themselves from the actual attraction, and there you go. In this case, free for all. So don't know how that works either.
Yeah, so guys, there you have it. This is a really weird moment in Disney history. This is maybe this used to happen a lot. We don't know. Maybe it happened before the era of the camera phone, but we're firmly in that era now, and this is really not okay. Thankfully, nobody appears to have been hurt. Disney is not commenting on it, but yeah, guys, look, at the end of the day, there are 999 happy haunts in there, and thankfully, after all of this, there was not room for one more.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.